All right, runners. Ashefflette here, and I'm here to bring you week 8 of our KDF Marathon Strength Training Program. Here we are with workout 1 and workout 2, and again I separated it out, zoomed it in. That way you can take a look at it. Make sure that you pause if you need to double check any of the exercises or sets or reps. Alright guys, starting out workout 1, exercise 1, we have a pistol squat. Now here it is, it's just a single leg squat to a bench. So you're going to keep most of the weight on your heel, not let that knee dive in or out, and you're going to try and sit straight down. And then here in a second I'm going to show you a little modification. I like to actually just put my heel on the ground and then I'll squat straight down. Makes it a little bit easier than just a standard pistol squat. And then next up we have our kettlebell deadlift. Now here I have the kettlebell set up just right in between my feet, and you're going to sit your butt back and down, keeping the back flat. Notice that I'm not actually reaching down at all, so that allows my back to just stay much more flat, keeping my stomach tight the whole time. And then from this front on position you can see I am toed out a little bit and I'm pushing my knees out just so that they don't dive in at all. And then up next we have our side to side and our rotational jumps. Now I'm really focusing on jumping just slightly to the side, focusing more on actually landing soft, whole footed, and I'm not up on my toes, I'm not sitting my weight back all on my heels. Notice with this rotational jump it's just a small 90-degree turn, and again notice they're not big jumps at all. And then onto our upper body we have our step back row. So I'm going to step every time. I'm going to step, drive my elbow back, and squeeze that shoulder blade back towards the spine. Now I do bring my foot forward each time, and I'm using my lower body to just try and generate a little bit more power. Next up we have our upper body push. Now this is just a dumbbell floor press, so it's like any other dumbbell bench. You're just going to press those dumbbells up to the ceiling, let the elbows fall down, and then relax at the bottom. They should touch all the way at the ground. Press back up and just repeat for the number of reps. Common issue that I see is a lot of people bring their wrists in towards their chest as their elbows come down. You want to keep the wrist stacked right over the elbow. And then up next we have our first core exercise, the inchworm. So you're going to start from that standing position, walk the hands all the way out like a plank, and then just a little bit further you can see I kind of get out towards my my chin, or even out past that. And as I come back, what you should see is that my knees stay almost completely straight. I have some pretty tight hamstrings, and so I can't keep them perfectly straight the whole time. Try not to let the hips rotate too much. Definitely quite a bit more difficult than they look right here. Alright, rounding out the program we have just a basic side plank with a leg lift. So you're just going to start from that side plank position. The hips should stay high, and notice that that leg that's moving, the toes are pointed straight ahead. Now even in this modified position, that's a key, is that the foot's pointed straight ahead, squeezing that hip up, and my hips aren't rotating at all. And that's it. Alright guys, going into workout 2 here, we have a new exercise. We have a depth drop. So you can do this from pretty much any height. I'm doing it here from a bench which is about 18 inches high. You're going to step off and try and land on both feet evenly, absorbing the landing with your knees and hips. Notice I'm not rocking onto my toes at all. I'm landing with that whole foot just like we did with our other jumps in the first workout. And I definitely recommend starting lower than you think that you might need. So maybe an 8-inch step or maybe a foot high. You don't really need anything really big to start out with. And then up next we have a single leg deadlift. Now this will look quite a bit like a lunge, except we're actually going to lean forward a little more. We're not going to try and stay upright like we do with our lunges. Notice that that weight is going to drop just by my foot. And then I'm also going to try and keep my hips pretty level with the ground. Notice that I'm not going to flex forward too much from my upper back. My back should stay flat the whole time. Alright, and then onto our super clamshell here. So I have that band just below my knees. I'm going to be in that modified side plank position, and I'm going to bridge my hips up and then open my legs up. Now it does look a little funny, but what most people tend to do here is they're going to try and push through their bottom foot and raise their knee up instead of actually pushing through their knee and then raising the hips up. Alright, and then onto the upper body here, we have a pretty simple stability ball Y. So we're going to keep the elbows straight. That ball is it's right at my stomach, and then I'm going to lift the arms up so that they're just in line with my body. I'm trying to pull my shoulder blades down and back, trying to pull them down like if they were going into my back pockets. Alright, and then up next we have just a normal seated overhead press. Now my elbows are down and in, they're not flared out like a military press usually is. And notice that that wrist stays stacked over the elbow the whole time. And from this side position you can really see that kind of elbow forward position from the start. And that's really key. It's going to be a little more beneficial or just healthy position for your shoulder to be in. Keep the stomach tight and don't let your back arch too much here. Alright, and last up here we have a bear crawl. Sorry for kind of the choppy video here. So it's a hand and foot crawl. Now the knees should be right underneath the hips, and as you notice as the video gets a little farther along here, my hips should stay pretty far down and they shouldn't rotate every time I step. Notice that it's also opposite arm and leg here. Alright, and the last thing up we have a cable chop. Now my hands are going to follow my shoulders. I'm going to be crunching and rotating the shoulders together. Sorry, one of my coworkers, Austin, walked right in front of the camera. And then my hips are going to slightly rotate. Really the key here is to rotate the shoulders and a small crunch. Knees should be bent the whole time. It's just an athletic posture like a golf swing or a baseball bat swing. And that wraps it up, guys. So that was week 8. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or put a comment down below and I'll get back to you as best as I can or as quick as I possibly can.